I told my fiancé his mom can't plan our wedding. Now he's not speaking to me, and she's crying to everyone. I, 30F, am getting married to my fiancé, 32M, next year, and I honestly couldn't be more excited. We've been together for almost 5 years, and he's truly my best friend. We've talked about marriage for a while, and when he proposed last winter, I was over the moon. We're both pretty laid-back people with similar tastes, so I expected wedding planning to be a fun, collaborative process between the two of us. But it hasn't exactly turned out that way. Enter his mom. Let's call her Linda. She's 58 and has always been very involved in my fiancé's life. I knew she was close to him, and I never really minded that dynamic before. She's friendly, talkative, and full of energy. At first, I thought it was sweet how invested she was in the wedding. She offered ideas, suggested venues, and even put together a cute little Pinterest board. I appreciated the gesture. It felt like she wanted to be helpful and included. But things started to shift pretty quickly. What began as suggestions soon turned into expectations. Linda wasn't just offering ideas. She was inserting herself into every conversation, every meeting, every plan. And while I tried to keep an open mind, it quickly started to feel like this wedding was becoming hers. At first, I made small compromises. She wanted us to check out a country club venue that she loved. I agreed, even though we'd already been leaning towards something rustic and outdoors. She suggested we go with a pastel color palette for the decor, and I politely nodded, even though my fiancé and I had envisioned deep, moody autumn tones. She even said, "I can help you find a dress that really suits our family style," which I try not to take personally, but it felt off. As time went on, I found myself becoming more and more uncomfortable. Linda was constantly calling vendors, texting me photos of cakes and flower arrangements, and even started talking about what music she wanted at the reception. It felt like she was planning a second wedding for herself, with me as the stand-in bride. I brought it up to my fiancé gently, saying, "I think we should take the lead and maybe ask your mom to let us steer the ship." But he just shrugged and said, "That's just how she is. She's excited. Try not to take it personally." I tried to let it go, but the stress kept building. What really pushed me over the edge was when Linda reached out directly to my parents, without telling me, to discuss coordination for the wedding. She talked to my mom about seating charts and guest lists as if she were co-hosting the entire event. That felt like a total boundary violation, and it made me feel completely erased from my own wedding planning. After Linda contacted my parents, I knew I couldn't keep quiet anymore. I sat down with my fiancé and calmly explained how I was feeling. I told him I appreciated that his mom cared, but I needed space to plan a wedding that actually reflected us, not just what she envisioned. I said I needed her to take a step back, not disappear completely, just give us the room to make our own decisions. He didn't take it well. He got defensive almost immediately and said I was being cold and ungrateful. He insisted that his mom was just trying to help and that she'd dreamed about his wedding for years. He said I was making her feel unwanted. I was trying so hard to stay calm, but after months of feeling steamrolled, I snapped a little. I said, "She already had her wedding day. This one is mine." And yeah, I know that probably came off as harsh, but it felt like the truth. That line hit him hard. He got quiet and said he needed some space. Since then, he's barely spoken to me. His mom, apparently, has been crying and telling him she doesn't understand why I hate her. And now I feel completely stuck, like I tried to set a reasonable boundary and ended up becoming the villain. It's been a few days since the confrontation, and things are tense. My fiancé still isn't really talking to me, and when we do speak, it's short and cold. I tried apologizing for the way I said things, but stood firm on how I felt. I told him again that I want us to plan this wedding as a team, not as a trio with his mom. He just said he's processing things, and that he thinks I don't understand how important this is to his family. Meanwhile, I keep going over the situation in my head. I'm not trying to exclude anyone. I'm really not. I just feel like I've been bulldozed. I wanted this to be a meaningful, joyful experience, but instead it feels like I'm fighting for basic decision-making power. My own parents are confused, too. My mom asked me why Linda called her directly and said it felt odd, like my fiancé's mom thought she was in charge. I didn't know what to say. I never imagined my wedding would be a source of so much tension. I love my fiancé, and I want a good relationship with his family, but I also feel like I have a right to set boundaries, especially when it comes to my wedding day. Still, I can't shake this guilty feeling. Was I too blunt? Too controlling? Am I the one turning this into a bigger issue than it needs to be? So Reddit, AITA for telling my fiancé I don't want his mom involved in planning our wedding? Was it wrong of me to ask her to step back? I get that weddings are emotional, and I understand that his mom wants to feel included. But at the end of the day, I think it's okay to want our wedding to reflect our values and taste, not hers. I didn't ban her from the wedding. I didn't insult her. I just asked for space. And yet, somehow, I'm the bad guy. Should I have handled it differently? Am I being too rigid or selfish? I genuinely don't know anymore. All I know is this day was supposed to be about love and partnership, and right now, it feels like a battlefield. Update. Thanks so much to everyone who commented. I wasn't expecting such a big response, but reading your perspectives honestly helped me feel less crazy. A lot of you validated how overwhelmed I felt, and some of you also gave really thoughtful advice about how to approach the situation more constructively. So here's what happened next. A couple of days after my original post, I asked my fiancé if we could talk, not about wedding details, just about us. I told him I missed him and that this wedding isn't worth anything to me if we're not okay. It seemed to soften him a bit, and he agreed to sit down and talk. I shared how overwhelmed I felt and how I felt like I was being steamrolled by his mom's involvement. I also admitted that maybe I didn't express my feelings in the most graceful way, but that I felt like no one was hearing me until I finally snapped. To his credit, he actually listened this time. I think it finally clicked when I said, "I'm not trying to erase your mom. I just want to be part of my own wedding." He got quiet, and then he said something that really stuck with me. "I think I've been so afraid of upsetting her that I didn't realize I was hurting you instead." We both cried a little. He apologized. I apologized. It was a good talk. The next day, he had a separate conversation with his mom. I wasn't there, but for what he told me, it was a bit rocky at first. She got emotional and said she just wanted to help, and she didn't realize she was overstepping. He told her that while he loved and appreciated her, she needed to let us take the lead. He also told her that I wasn't trying to shut her out, just asking for space. She didn't love it, but she's backing off, at least for now. She sent me a text later that evening saying she was sorry if she came on too strong and that she's just been dreaming of this day for years. I thanked her, said I hope we could move forward with mutual respect. I think we'll be okay, but we're definitely still navigating the dynamic. As for the wedding planning itself, my fiancé and I are now making a shared Google Doc and doing things just between us first, then sharing ideas with others. It's helping a lot. We even booked a venue this week, outdoor with autumn trees, and it feels like a win for both of us. So long story short, I don't think I was the asshole, but I did need to learn how to communicate my boundaries more clearly, and my fiancé needed to step up and advocate for us as a team. We're getting there.